I'll get going. So you can just find your comfortable seat, whatever that means for you this morning. Get comfortable, settle in. Just want to make sure we
I'm
have...
muting myself now.
Thank you. Perfect. So I just want to start off this morning by saying that I really advocate taking time for yourself. It's super important, especially if you're in any sort of service role. I used to kind of poo-poo it a little bit and say, no, we just need to serve, serve, serve. And the reality is that we really need to tend to our own inner garden before we can share those fruits and benefits with our friends and our family. So just keep that in mind, that as you move through these times, we're living in wildly transformational times right now, to take that time for yourself to anchor. And whether that is 5 minutes at the beginning of your day just to sit and breathe and find something to be grateful for, or it's throughout the day just taking a little bit of time for yourself. But keep that anchor in. In some traditions, in the Muslim tradition, they pray 5 times a day. And if we could even just do it once a day, even before meals, to get ourselves facing in the right direction again, which is always towards gratitude, towards thankfulness, and towards a trusting that there is a higher unfolding that's happening. So stay in the light, my friends. Let's start our practice with a chant this morning. And actually we'll do it's called I Awaken Thy Light. It's a beautiful chant by Swami Kriyananda. I Let's just take a few moments together here. The eyes closed, staying inward. And see if you can feel the consciousness behind that chant. It's so uplifting. It lifts us out of the sort of heaviness of worldly consciousness back into our true identity, which is in the soul and the spirit. I awake in thy light. I awake in thy love. I awake in thy joy. I am joyful. I am free. There's a certain cynicism and pessimism in this country, oftentimes, and sometimes just in the hearts of worldly people. And the belief is that if I look at all the things that are wrong, then I'll have a clear view or a clear picture of what this world is supposed to actually look like, or what the sort of the claim is that you'll see the real and true reality of things. And this couldn't be further from the truth, because the true reality of things is the higher reality, which is rooted in our spiritual identity and which is only perceived by lifting the energy in the body to the spiritual eye. And yogis, saints and sages of all great traditions have all come back to share the same essential truth with us, that the essence of who we are is love and bliss and joy, and that the essence of this reality is to remind us of that bliss and joy and love. And so I encourage you, as you practice this morning, to connect with your own sense of joy and love and bliss within yourself. So when you're ready, you can open the eyes, and we'll just start with a little rubbing of the palms together. Just get a little bit of energy gathered in between the hands. Good. And we're sort of just going to reach the arms up on deep inhale, and you're going to press the space out around you and open. Give yourself a little more space. Sometimes these energies start to sort of encroach upon us. Our light dwindles into a tiny little candle flame, and this is your affirmation, your intention of inhaling, and you're spreading the space around you and letting that flame start to blaze a little bit stronger. And we'll do one more. Don't be afraid to smile as you practice. This is a flame of joy that burns in your heart. Let's take another deep breath in together. Give yourself a little more space. Just open that wonderful expanse all around the body. Good, you can leave left hand down. We'll take a deep inhalation and just reach up and overhead. Lengthen through the side body. And then when you're ready, you can exhale and just drop that hand down and come to the other side. So the inhale is what's finding the upward rising energy. The exhale, we settle down. Just a couple more times either side. Good. And then both arms up into the sky, we'll open in the wrist, just circle out, open hands all the way down. Attention in the part of the body that's moving and that's stimulated, and then reverse the direction all the way back up. Good. Interlace fingers, take a nice deep breath, and exhale, press the heart forward and the palms upward. Another deep breath in. When you're ready to exhale, bend elbows, drop shoulders, and roll the hands down the side of the body and press away until they're back to the ground. So you can go ahead and free your feet in front of you. We're going to come up into a standing position. So whichever way that you'd like to make your way up this morning. Just be gentle with the body, what it needs. When you do arrive in your standing position, just go ahead and take one of the feet and roll out the foot and the ankle. If you'd like, hold your opposite arm, and this will give you a little extra balance. So you're sort of pulling on the arm and pushing away, and that little counter tension will keep you balanced. And then do the other side. Just a little rolling of foot and ankle. Nice deep breath here, and every time that you move, you're sending vitality to that part of the body. So let's just feel that. We're going to go now and just lift and lower the legs. So you can do so with tension. You tense up with your calf muscle and then tense down. Just a little tension in the leg. Again, if you need to hold your arm, feel free. Tense up, relax. Tense down, relax. This just wakes up the leg muscle. We'll go to the other side. The wonderful part about a balanced posture is that it really forces us to be as present as possible so that we don't tip over. Good. And we're going to come right into tree pose. So go ahead and turn out your left knee to the side, and your right foot will be right against the ankle to start. Some of us can go a little bit higher. If you're going to go any higher, just skip the knee and tuck the foot where it'll land. Hands into the heart and prayer pose. In this particular posture, where you're looking is one of the more important parts of the practice. So find a single point of focus on the wall in front of you, out a window. And at first, your vision might be like a tunnel where you can only see. Let your periphery start to dilate so that you have a wider perspective, so that you're in a feeling state and you can feel a sense of embodiment. You're breathing and concentrating. The affirmation, say it with me out loud if you'd like, or internally. I am calm. I am poised. I am calm. I am poised. Try to relax any tension out of the body as you practice the pose. I am calm. I am poised. When you're ready to release, the front knee comes back into alignment and then just slowly descend down. It's great to come right to the other side, so we'll give that right leg a rest and come up onto either the ankle, the calf. Just skip the knee if you're going to go any higher. And just like in that first practice where you're holding onto your own elbow, the same is true for foot and thigh, or foot and calf. If you push them together, snug them up together, it'll help you balance a lot better. And then find your single point of a focus. Make sure that it's above the horizon line of your gaze. And you relax and trust your body in its balance. Long, deep breath, momentous breath. We'll repeat the affirmation, I am calm, I am poised. I am calm, I am poised. I am calm, I am poised. Typically, one side of your body will have a dominant influence on the rest of the body. So sometimes left side is stronger than right, or right is stronger than left. If this is your weaker side, stay a little bit. If it's your stronger side, you might come down a little early to bring more balance into your body. Knee comes to the center when you're ready to leave. We're going to slightly bend the knees and inhale and sweep the arms up. Take a nice rinse of all the energy in the body. Forward fold, hands to the top of the thighs. Release the head down. Inhale and lift the head, just a gentle halfway lift. Knees are bent, back is long, and then exhale to release again. And we're going to roll up the spine. Nice slow recharging of each vertebrae until you come into a neutral position. This is the moment to close the eyes and look to the spiritual eye. The weight's on the ball of your feet. And you're breathing. Breath comes up the spine on inhalation, descends down the spine on exhale. Think of your breath as like a magnet, and every time that you lift the magnet of your breath up to the spiritual eye, You're drawing the energy back up the body. Every time you exhale, you're pulling it down. And this little activity is quite transformational. We'll practice more later. Eyes can open when you're ready. So you're going to take feet a little bit closer together, toes touching if possible. We're going to inhale and sweep the arms up overhead and take your lean over towards the left side. So this is our half moon pose. Some of us like to flip our top palm, and you take the bottom hand and press the palm up into the sky. More important than a deep bend in the back here is that you reach upward. You can look in the opposite direction of your hands reaching and just take some deep breaths here. Now, if the posture is so hard that you're barely able to hang on, come neutral a little bit more and find the place where you can breathe. The affirmation, strength and courage fill my body cells. Strength and courage fill my body cells. Breathe that reality into your body. Strength and courage fill my body cells. When you're ready to come into neutral, release the hands straight above the head. Inhale, press the palms up, and then exhale, release the hands down and around the body. We're just going to take a moment to step feet a little bit wider and cleanse the spine with a little wave of hands side to side. This will help to shift any energy that may be stagnant from any position that we embark on. Nice deep breathing. Remember, you're revitalizing the body with your breath. And then you can come back to neutral. And let's come right to the other side. So as you're ready, toes back together, nice stable foundation. Inhale, sweep the arms up and over, and we'll head over to the right side. If you like, you can take your top palm, face it up, and press the bottom hand up underneath. And reach up and over here. And you start rather straight, and then you start to wander your way into the curve that's available for you today. Breathing steadiness of breath. And the affirmation, strength and courage fill my body cells. Strength and courage fill my body cells. Say it with enthusiasm and zeal until you feel the consciousness behind the words. Strength and courage fill my body cells. You might find that you're able to reach a little bit further, breathe a little bit deeper. Strength and courage fill my body cells. You're ready to release. A gentle centering of the arms up above the head. Inhale to press the palms up. And exhale, you can separate the hands down and around. One more time, we're going to take feet a little bit wider and just swing the arms around to sort of clap against the body. And anything that may be awakened, you can think all these little pockets of trapped energy in the body are starting to release. And sometimes that means a little discomfort. So these little movements are great ways to flush that discomfort out of the body. And then you can slowly come back to neutral. Here's the neutral asana. Close the eyes and look to the spiritual eye. Look up with your gaze. And see if you can get a feeling of that upward lift, of the heart lifting up a bit higher in your practice. And you can repeat the sound of Om a couple times here at the spiritual eye, and this will open the inner doorways of the body. Om, Om, Om. Good. Relax and smile. Eyes starting to come back open. We're going to take our first big step backwards here. Send right foot either one step back, 2 steps, or some of us can even get 3 or 4. And so your toes are pointed towards the front of your mat. Your front knee is bent. We're going to come into a side angle pose here. So go ahead and drop the forearm down to your thigh. Opposite arm either straight above into the sky, or some of us even cut the space over the head and reach above here. The affirmation, I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. All that energy is centered in your spine, so as you rest in the pose, feel awareness of the spine, a fountain of boundless energy and power. I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. Top arm is the first to come down, releasing down by the back hips. And when you're ready, you can come into neutral, inhale and push off the earth to rise, and you're back in a neutral position. We're going to turn our toes to face the same direction, so we're in a straddle split here. And we're very simply just going to take a rest with hands on the hips for a moment and channel all the energy up to the spiritual eye. I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. When you're ready to fold forward, hands to the thighs, and just very gently begin to hold the thighs as you bow the hips back and the chest forward. Finally, head and neck down. At any time, you can inhale and rise halfway by tightening glutes and belly muscles. This is the active side of the phase. Exhale, you slide your way back down into the full prasarita. Forward folding, wide stance, forward fold. The affirmation, I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. And breathe that affirmation right into the deepest depths of the soul. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. When you're ready to rise, the knees bend, the hips drop, and you slowly press your way back up into your wide stance here. Arms come up into the sky if you so choose. Take a full breath. And then exhale, open arms like you're the Vitruvian man or woman. Arms open nice and wide. And then exhale, you can float the palms down. So you can stay as you are and just pivot on your back foot this time so that you're facing the opposite direction. You may need to adjust your feet, but we're coming into our side angle pose over here. Dropping forearm down, opposite arm up into the sky. This is a good place to start for most of us. If you'd like a little more, palm facing down, cutting through the sky above the head. The affirmation, I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. I doubt anyone's ever told you that before. Breathe in that reality. These are your soul qualities, your soul identity. It doesn't matter if it doesn't ring true at first. Keep repeating. They're called affirmations because you are affirming the reality that already exists. The calmer we become, the more self-evident our truth and our divinity becomes. Let's take 3 more breaths together in the pose. When you do reach the point that you're ready to exit, top arm is the first to come down. Push strong out of your front foot in the pose to lift off of the thigh. We'll turn toes to the side again. You could take hands on the hips, some of us hands in the heart. And we just pause here and lift all the attention back to the spiritual eye. Relaxing and feeling is the other half of the active practice. We can gain so much benefit from stillness in our practice. Let's just take a moment here to breathe. Stay as long as you'd like in that position. When you're ready to fold forward, go ahead and release the head and the neck down towards the ground. Even on this pose, the weight is on the balls of your feet, so lean forwards. Head and neck are totally relaxed. And looking to the spiritual eye in super conscious activity, repeat the affirmation, I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. And if you'd like to take a rising position in the pose, just lift to halfway by pressing off the thighs and pull that vitality right from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, and then exhale for one more round, releasing down and in. When you're ready to rise, it's gradual. Knees are bending, hips are sinking, and you're pushing off of your foundation to come steady here. So use that energy to draw up the thighs and up the spine and sweep the arms up overhead. Good. Exhale, hands can come down. We're in the perfect position for triangle pose. So let's turn on our heel of our whichever front foot you'd like to start with. If you're following with me, you'll be facing your camera or maybe your side wall. In triangle pose, you have two options. You can either press into the hip so that your hips come back and you press forward and then drop the hand down. Some of us like to reach out in front with the palm facing up to get a little more reach, and then find your lengthening down, opposite arm to the sky. And very important that you push on this bottom hand off of this region of the inner thigh. It'll help you to open your chest. Stabilize in the pose. And the affirmation for the pose, hang in there with deep, deep breath. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. And awake in that reality. This is a very invigorating and often challenging pose. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. And if you can remain in the pose long enough that you find your mental limitation and breathe maybe one or two breaths beyond that point with calm, trusting energy. Top arm comes right to the heart once you've reached that point in your practice. Inhaling, you rise back to neutral position here, staying in the wide stance. We'll inhale and reach arms up to the sky. And exhale this time, palms face down. Give yourself a little bath, a little cleansing. Your hands are just like magnets, just like the breath. So go ahead and send that energy anchoring you down and close the eyes. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Let's come right to the other side, pivoting on the heel, coming into your wide stance for triangle. Again, you can either just press onto this inner hip crease here, or you can flip the front palm and reach as far out as you can go, and then drop the hand where it lands. Most of us can safely practice up here by the thigh, opposite arm into the sky. Now, if you're tempted to go down further, make sure that you don't cut off the channel of the spine. The evidence is how freely you can breathe. Whatever you're looking for in your yoga practice is coming from deeper, more dynamic breath. We want to expand in our practice, not contract. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. Open the cave of your heart to let that joy, the mellow light of joy, descend into your heart. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. If you can stay another couple breaths here and really steep yourself into that reality. Energy and joy flood my body cells. Joy descends to me. When you need to come down, it's always calmly, never rushed or desperate. Slowly we rise out of the position, and you can turn back on your wide stance. This time we're just going to heel toe all the way back to the center of our mat until you can step safely. Let's take a nice deep breath. Exhale all the breath out and relax the entire body. On next inhalation, rise up the spine to the spiritual eye and rest here. Just like the teachings of Jesus Christ, if thine eye be single, thy whole body will be filled with light. This is the light of cosmic consciousness, divine consciousness. The single eye is the spiritual eye. In the physical body, it's your prefrontal cortex, the part of you that makes you human. Once you feel recharged and ready to move on in the practice, we're going to take a deep breath, opening eyes, sweep arms up above the head. Exhale, you can take a forward fold all the way down to the earth and reach the arms as far towards the earth as they can go. If you can touch, wonderful. If not, hold on to the thighs or the shins. Take some deep breaths here. The weight is always on the ball of the foot when we're practicing. This is the posture of readiness, wakefulness, alert energy. Remaining alert, take long deep breaths in the forward fold. The greater your relaxation, the more powerful the flow of energy that can travel in your spine back to your brain. The affirmation, if you'd like to repeat, nothing on earth can hold me. Nothing on earth can hold me. Nothing on earth can hold me. If you'd like to come for a pass of a halfway lift, you just press off of your thighs with the heel of your hand, inhaling, lifting the spine to length. Crown of the head is the point, and then exhale, you can fold forward. We're going to walk our feet away from our hands in a downward facing dog. Take a little march back in place if you'd like. Let the breath be really long and deep here, especially if your body is used to this position or you've been in this position many times. Breathe and relax. That's the whole process here. There's this beautiful little circular experience. We breathe We relax, we expand. And if you keep traveling around this little circular pattern, it will really transform the practice. When you're ready to, you can float your left foot up into the sky. So this could be an inch, it could be feet, it could be a half split all the way up to the sky, and then draw the knee up in between the hands. And we're coming into pigeon pose. So demonstrating from the side, if you're new to the position, keep the ankle right underneath your hips. If you're more experienced, flip the foot out to the side. So I'll show you from the front here as a demonstration. For those of us flipping the ankle out over to the side, toes stay flexed up towards the knee. Back leg is straight like a spear. Roll the shoulders down the back body and lift the heart here. Royal pigeon pose. The posture starts at the base of the spine, and slowly we relax our way up higher. Make sure you can breathe. Make sure you can smile easily. This pose is most beneficial with eyes closed, inner gaze lifted up to that sacred and holy place of the center between the eyebrows, the spiritual eye. The affirmation, I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. Embody the shape, feel into the expression. Whatever sensations are occurring in your body, lovingly invite deeper breath into those sensations. When you're ready to lower out of the position, we're going to skip the rest phase of this pose, tucking toes underneath, bow your heart, and sure up the back leg, and then start lifting the hips off the ground. Our restful phase is in downward facing dog, so press off the earth and look to the lap. Deep expansive breath here. When you've finished, you come right down into child's pose and take a moment of rest here. Some of us will stay in down dog. We're always cultivating an obedience to the inner authority within our own experience. This is your intuition. Remember the breath. Remember, when you breathe, you're breathing up the spine, into the brain. When you exhale, releasing down back the body. And this little movement is like it's washing the spine, cleaning out the cobwebs. When you're ready to rise, let it be gentle, progressive, until you come back into downward facing dog again, looking to the left. And take a moment in this pose just to really experience it. And the affirmation, calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. When you're ready to free the right foot back behind you, a little point to the toes, you can go as high as you'd like, and then draw the knee all the way up in between the hands and slide down into your pigeon pose. Again, you might start with the ankle right underneath the knee, or hip rather. Some of us will slide the foot off to the side. If you are sliding out to the side, just flex your toes. Make sure they're flexing up towards the knee. Your back toes are pointed behind you. Your leg is strong. Column of fixed energy behind the body. And then go ahead and dip the chest and roll the shoulders down and back and think forwards and up. Sometimes we get misled into backward in this pose, but it's really forward and up. And you'll find there's so much less pressure on the low spine when we come forwards and up. It's more weight on the arms, and that's good to strengthen your arms. Let's close the eyes and look up to the spiritual eye. The affirmation, I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. Keep looking up. And you're breathing here. Spine is unrestricted. Crown of the head is lengthening towards the sky. If you can stay a little longer, stay a bit. If you need to lower out of the pose, you're most welcome to start that process. Toes of the back foot are curling underneath. You lift the knee first, then the hips, then weights into the hands. Then you can free yourself back into downward facing dog. We're going to lower down onto knees. Last of our little sequence here, just go ahead and lower yourself right onto your stomach. So lower down, all the way down. When you do arrive, make sure that you can push down on your pelvic bone. And just practice for a moment. Push down and release, push down. Toes are pointing here. Hands are under the shoulders. We're going to push down through the pelvic bone and lift ourselves into a little cobra pose. Don't go further than your body's ready to. And if you can find a way to pull on the heels of the hands, there'll be less compression in your low spine. Nice deep breathing here. The affirmation, I rise joyfully to meet each new opportunity. Why don't we lower down and just take a little moment of respite. You can turn onto your cheek side. When you're ready, we'll rise back up. So pushing down through the pelvic bone first. Kneecaps can even lift in this pose. As you push down through the top side of your feet. Remember, you're pulling on the heels of the hands slightly. Crown of the head is lifted towards the sky. Avoid craning in the neck in any way. Back of the neck stays long. Affirmation, I rise joyfully to meet each new opportunity. I rise joyfully to meet each new opportunity. If you can stay longer, feel free. If you need to come down, exhale and release onto the other cheek. So just lay yourself down onto the ground here. Laying onto your side. You can make a little pillow with the hands if you'd like. let's slowly begin to press hands under shoulders, knees are under hips, and we're coming out of the position. We're going to set for a side plank pose here. So when you're on hands and knees, choose whichever foot you'd like to step with. You step back. So if you have right knee down, right hand is on the ground, left arm up into the sky. The edge of your back foot, the outer edge, is parallel to the back of the mat. That means the toes are pointing in the same direction that you're looking. Now if you'd like to experiment with lifting the bottom leg out of the way and seeing if you can hold the weight of your body, this is a wonderfully invigorating pose. The affirmation, the calm fire of my concentration burns all restlessness and all distractions. The calm fire of my concentration burns all restlessness and all distractions. One more time, the calm fire of my concentration burns all restlessness, all distraction. When you're ready to come down, lower the knee if you haven't already. Just center both hands back onto the ground. The beauty of this pose is the other side gives this first side a rest. So extend the leg back behind you as you're ready. Opposite arm up into the sky. Nice deep breath. Again, if you'd like to take it into the invigorating version of the pose, you free the bottom leg, keep the hips lifted nice and high, and repeat with a smile. Most important, don't burn the joy out of your practice with the intensity. The calm fire of my concentration burns all restlessness and all distractions. The calm fire of my concentration burns all restlessness, all distraction. Keep breathing here one more time inwardly. The calm fire of my concentration burns all restlessness, all distractions. Again, graceful as you come down, never desperate in any pose, no matter how challenging. Hands come back, we come back into tabletop. We're going to swing the feet around so that we can come into a seated position here. Legs nice and long. Good. And first things first, hands right by the sides of the hips. Close the eyes and look as you lengthen your spine. Whole body's relaxed, but you're reaching energetically, alert through the crown of the head. The calm fire of my concentration burns all restlessness and all distractions. Look to the spiritual eye. This is the center of concentration in the body. Alright, eyes slowly open as you're ready to. We're going to come into a fun pose. I like to think it's fun. Go ahead and pull left foot up in towards the center of your lap here. So you can always just stay here and sit your hands on either side of your hips and breathe. Nice long deep breath. If you want to come a little further, take your first two fingers of your left hand. You're going to wrap them around your big toe. And you're going to slowly start to lift that foot out to the side a little more. Opposite arm is going to reach down the leg. So already this is quite a bit for most of us. Some of us can reach the toe, and if you do, just wrap your fingers here. This is called pulling the bow pose. It doesn't matter if you can hold onto the toes. Start to pull as you kick into the hand. So pulling and kicking at the same time, you lift the foot off the ground, even if it's an inch. Keep your elbow high, just like if you were pulling a bow and arrow. Elbow stays high for good marksmanship. And you keep lifting as much as your body will allow. The key in this pose is to kick the toe into the fingers, and that creates enough energy for you to lift. So wherever you are in the pose, stay there and breathe. The affirmation: with shafts of will, I pierce the heart of worries. With shafts of will, I pierce the heart of worries. This pose is wonderfully invigorating for the willpower. Nice deep breathing. When you're ready to release, as gentle as you are, go ahead and lower that foot and we'll send it all the way out, right to the other side. Let's stay in this energy. So right foot comes right into the center. If you can, you're going to wrap those first two fingers around the big toe. Send the other arm down or hand down towards the leg. See if you can step onto your heel to start. And then start to kick into the fingers as you pull back on the toe. You can reach your big toe in the front, feel free. It's a challenging pose, but it's very important to develop willpower. Willpower is willingness, energy directed to the pathway of willingness. With shafts of will, I pierce the heart of worries. With shafts of will, I pierce the heart of worries. You can go a little bit higher, feel free. Just be respectful of your body. Remember your true goal: breathing, relaxing, and expanding. When you're ready to lower down, do so gently. We're going to draw both feet into the center of the body for butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana, and let the soles of the feet reach towards each other. And if you can open the feet like a book, this is another level of this pose. Your knees are up a little higher, it's totally fine, just breathe. Now what we want here is the pelvic bowl to lean forward, so keep the spine long and start to lean forward, and you'll feel a catch point in the inner thighs. And this is great, just stay here. Some of us take fingers behind the body and we press off the earth for a little lift. The affirmation for our butterfly pose: secure in myself, I accept whatever is. Secure in myself, I accept whatever is. And what are we secure in? Secure in the inner bliss and joy. When you're ready to fold your body forwards and eventually towards the earth, you can start to lower down in the pose. Just release head and neck. The only true security in this world is in the divine within ourselves. To be anchored in higher consciousness is the only safe place to be. Secure in myself, I accept whatever is. That is a capital S, self. Secure in myself, I accept whatever is. Slowly start to work your way back up the spine by rolling head's last part of the body to rise. See if you can hold onto your shins for a moment and lift your chest. Lift nice and light. Let there be room for you to rise up into the sky. Breathing steady here. Secure in myself, I accept whatever is. Look to the spiritual eye. Secure in myself, I accept whatever is. The yogi frees himself, herself, not by changing outer circumstances, but by changing the inner response to circumstances. Let's draw the knees up together. And we're going to come into a twisting pose. So just send your feet a little further out. They're still flat onto the earth. Knees are bent. And we'll start on the left side. So just reach underneath and tuck the foot behind the body. And then if you can step back, this is great. If you can step over, this may be interesting to do. And just make sure you can sit up and high and tall. Left arm is going to reach out to the side. And then wave that arm around the front. And the opposite arm, you can either pull the heart backwards or you can float the arm up and around, depending on your ability here. Backhand is behind you. I'll show you from a different angle here. It's behind you like a kickstand so that you can keep sitting tall. And just keep breathing. Sometimes when we're releasing, the waters get a little murky in our practice, in our mind, and different thoughts start to come in. But the inevitable reality that always follows that murky experience is greater sense of clarity. The affirmation for this pose: I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. Just think of all of our brothers and sisters around the world, our global family, and let the light of the divine shine through you, not your personal capacity for love, but divine love which knows no boundaries and will bless all these beautiful souls. When you're ready to release out of the pose, take a deep breath in and sit as tall as you can on the spine, and then you can exhale and slowly untwist out of the pose until you're back to neutral, and we'll unstep our foot and then pause for a moment here. Close the eyes and look to the spiritual eye. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. A friend of mine had a beautiful analogy yesterday and said we're only able to withdraw out of this world what we have already deposited, what we have already given. So give freely of love and peace and joy to everyone, and you too will be able to withdraw that and to enjoy it yourself. Let's come to the other side. Legs meet, and you're just folding the other leg underneath. Again, you might be able to step back and stay here. This is a great place to start for many of us. Some of us can cross over, depending on flexibility of our hips. Right arm goes all the way out, and then you wrap around the front leg here. Your other hand can either pull off the heart and then release back behind. I'll show you from the side here. So as you pull the heart back and down, you sort of send that hand into the earth. Some of us can even do a big circle all the way around, and that gives us more twisting room in our body. Good. And we're breathing, relaxing, and feeling. try closing the eyes to keep yourself centered in the immediate experience of breath, body, and mind. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere, even if there's a specific person that you'd like to pray for. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. There's a moment when that love begins to really flow and you start to feel grace pouring through you. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. If it's sweet and it's joyful, stay. If you're ready to leave the pose, just very gently take your final inhalation. Exhale and come back through center. And then we'll unstep the foot out of the way and extend it out a little longer and just take a moment here to sit tall. Again, the breath is like a little magnet. It's rising up the spine and it's pulling with it all that no longer serves us right to the heart, right to the spiritual eye. And as you exhale, it's cleansed. That magnet goes down again for another round of clearing. This is the only permanent way to liberate yourself from stresses, is to release them in this energetic capacity. When you're ready, you can open the eyes, and we're going to make our way down onto our backs. So holding back side of the thighs, you can take your roll onto your back, knees in towards the chest. We're going to take feet down to the earth and come right into bridge pose. So lift your hips up off of the earth, steady on your feet, interlace your fingers underneath the body, shoulders underneath the chest if possible. Please don't look left or right. Hug your knees closer together and breathe. If you're hugging the knees, you'll stimulate this wonderful energy up the inner thighs. And that vitality, that primal source of energy, is free to rise up the open channel of your spine. And you can create real and lasting transformation in this way. Stay if you can. We'll look to the spiritual eye and repeat the affirmation. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. If you can stay for one more together. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. When you're ready to release, the hips can come back down, hands are out of the way. And you might like to wave your knees side to side. Take arms nice and wide and just roll the knees from one side to the other. And we're going to leave the knees over and off to one side. Arms are nice and wide, and we'll rest here. We're relaxing, twisted over to one side. Breathing. And now's a good time to close the eyes and sense into the internal atmosphere. Feel the body from the inside out. The affirmation for this pose: I open to the flow of God's life within me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. God is the highest potential, unconditional love, divine wisdom, and we are opening ourselves to receive this energy into our bodies. You're swimming in it like an ocean. Just open the doors. I open to the flow of God's life within me. Whenever it's natural for you, you can gently just roll the knees off to the other side so you're twisted in the opposite direction. Arms are still nice and wide. Sometimes even above the head might be nice, and you might experiment with what feels best in your body. The yogis teach us that the flow of divine grace enters at the very top of the spine, the base of the skull, the medulla oblongata. So as you rest in this pose, let that window or doorway be open to receive the inpouring of divine grace. You might feel warmth through the body, tingling, vibration, expansive awareness beyond what you're used to. Once it really starts flowing, just like the example of the magnetic movement of the breath up and down the spine, center the awareness at the spiritual eye, and this magnet sends energy out of the spiritual eye, but it pulls more into your body. You're a channel that wants to flow. Give the energy a direction to move. I open to the flow of God's life within me. And then, gentle as you are, when it's your time, just come back to a neutral position. You might hug knees in towards the chest. Do a little rocking side to side, and then we're going to come right into Shavasana. Legs nice and long. If you were hoping for any other posture, maybe an inversion or something along those lines, you're absolutely welcome to do as your heart is made content. Just leave plenty of time to rest in Shavasana. Palms are facing up, legs nice and long. If you feel any energy in the body that maybe needs a little shifting, a little harmonizing, take a double inhale through the nose and gently and lightly tense the whole body, and then slowly release. Take another one. This will harmonize all the energy in the body. And release. Our final affirmation. Bones, muscles, movement, I surrender now. Anxiety, elation, and depression, churning thoughts, all these I give into the hands of peace. Let go into the hands of peace. Feel you're being held by the loving, motherly arms of this beautiful and divine cosmos. And remember the immortal words of Jesus Christ. To those who think me near, I will be there. take a few moments resting still in Shavasana. Finding ourselves awakening back in a greater sense of joy and vitality in the body. A sweetness in every cell of our body. A warmth, a motherly love moving through veins and arteries. A complete acceptance. The great yogi Paramhansa Yogananda said that when we have this type of energy moving through our bloodstream, it magnetizes the blood in a very unique way that kills viruses and bacteria throughout the body. He said by loving expression toward other beings, by selfless service, we magnetize the blood in our bodies. We create a condition that is only conducive to health, in which harmful bacteria and viruses cannot exist. Love is not just an ideal, it is a living frequency. Let's just take a few moments to awake back in our body from this center now of loving vibration, of complete acceptance of who we are, where we are. Let your movements grow and awaken in capacity, if it's fingers, toes, arms overhead, knees in towards the chest. All the little ways that we begin to inspire back into the physical body. Even double inhale, tensing the body and releasing. And creatively make your way back to a comfortable seated posture, however you'd like. If you can leave the eyes closed, it's a very sacred and special time at the end of our physical practice, just to sit quietly. We have enough time here to maybe sit for 3 or 4 minutes in silence and just enjoy the inner atmosphere that you feel, and the world will be waiting for you. This is your moment to really experience the benefits of your physical practice. It's best to have palms facing upward. This keeps your heart open. And to look to the spiritual eye, at least to the heart, but then to the spiritual eye if you can. And the breath moves as it will. Let it be its own unique expression. together in prayer. We take a gentle bow of our heads towards our hands. We bow to the divine teacher that is present within our hearts. We bow to the inner guru. We bow to the divine nature. We bow to that place within every person on this earth, knowing that in truth, we are all from the same divine essence. And honoring that place in each other, we'll seal our practice saying Namaste, Namaste. Oh, and let's rub our palms together. We have to send ohms out to everybody. Let's not forget to share this wonderful vibration. So rub the palms together enough that you get good vibration going here. Activate the whole body. Spread the palms out nice and wide. We'll send waves of Om out into this beautiful earth and throughout the cosmos. One round of breath to clear the lungs. Deep inhale. Open mouth exhale. Let's sound Om together. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, 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 everyone. Have a beautiful and blessed day. It's so nice to see you all, and I'm really happy to be back and practicing with you. So stay tuned for more programming. I'll let you know when it's happening.